Okay, next thing we're going to be talking about is titles. Titles are really great to add at the beginning of a project. You want to have a nice title that gives us the name of whatever movie we're watching. Also really nice to have them at the end with credits. And a lot of times we want to put titles in our movie, titles on top of the video. So we're going to talk about how to do all of that today. First thing we're doing is a title at the beginning. I already have one in here, right here, and all I did was I clicked this and I dragged it right there. And that's what I got. Then once you want to change what the title actually says, all you have to do is come up here, double click, highlight all of that text, and then you can make it say whatever you would like. So now let me just make sure that works. All right, there we go. So nice and easy. If I wanted to move these words, say I wanted them down here, I have this little cross right here, which I can click, and I can move those actually anywhere where I would like. I could also make this font larger if I wanted to. You see over here, if you don't have this panel, you want to click on this button right here. And what you can do with this panel is you come down and it's got size options, so I can increase the size of my font. And also, one that we like to use a lot is the color, which I'll show you on a different one. This one doesn't have a good face version. But you have all different options. Right now this is set to stainless. I could always click this and I could change it to, let's see, Age Concrete. And there we go. So once you have a title, you change it by double clicking it, and then you have options over here to kind of customize what that looks like. I'm going to put in a more challenging title than this and show you how to make adjustments to it. So I'm going to scroll over here and let's see. Let me actually go to bumper and opener. Here we go. All right, this one is more challenging because there's lots of bits of text. There's not just one. So I'm going to drag this over, and I am just going to replace the one I have with this by dragging it right on top. And then I'm just going to do replace. All right, so that one was much longer. You see it pushed everything back. And now the trick to this one is I'm going to drag my toggle until I see that first bit of text. There it is. Now I want to change it, so I'm just going to double click and I'm going to change that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag my toggle again until I find the next bit of text that I need to edit. Still the same one. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to double click here and I'm going to change that to example. And then I'm just going to keep scrolling ahead until I find my next bit right here. Double click on that. And I can change that. Now don't forget, even in a complicated one like this, I could always change the color. If I wanted this to be a different color, I'm going to scroll down here, and face is where we change that color. So if I click show, I see I have my color option. I'm going to click that, and I have all different kinds of options which I could click on. Let's go with the orange. So I'm going to keep it that way. And now I'm going to go ahead and find my next bit of text I need to edit. And you can see it's all orange right there. And I think that's just about it. Let me go back, and I'm actually going to change example. Not working, so let me find where we first get example. I think right here. All right, I'm going to change the color of that by scrolling down. Face, I'm going to click show. Color, and let's go with this beauty. Okay. And there we go. We see it changes that word example in every one. And let's go back because that is kind of looking cool. And let's change projects. Let's go back to where we first see the word project. Let's try right here. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to show face. I'm going to do color, and we'll go with that. Okay, so now let's watch what we've done. I'll make sure we didn't miss any lines of text and it looks the way we'd like it to. Okay, so there's our opening title screen. It's all set. Now, what I'm going to show you next is how to add text on top of video. So what I want is, as this scene starts, I want there to be text coming up that says starring Shannon Reed, and then another one that says starring Principal Rao. So I'm going to find, let me go back to all over here, and I'm going to find something. See, this one, I don't want it to be animated. Here we go, perfect. Blank title screen, mildly animated, but that's fine. So I'm going to click that, and what I'm going to do, instead of putting it right here in front of it, is I'm going to put that on top of the video, and that way I can see that title screen right on top. Now make sure you don't put it underneath. If you put that title screen underneath the video, then you won't be able to see it. It has to go on top. Okay. And you have to pick one that has a black background. If you were to say pick this one with a white background, that white background is going to cover up whatever is underneath it. So the black background usually means it will become see-through, right? So the black background disappears, we see the video underneath, and we have our little title right here. All right, I want to change this. First of all, I don't need this to be nearly so long, so I'm going to make that much, much, much shorter. I'm going to move my toggle right over top so I can see it. And I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to say starring, and then I want to go down a line, so I'm going to hit enter. Shannon Reed. Okay, and I'm going to customize this a little bit. I want these both to be aligned to the left like that. I want them to be a little bit larger, so I'm going to do that. And I want to change the color of those. So I'm going to come down to face and do show. I'm going to change that color to, let's do a nice LSM blue. And then so it stands out from the background, I think I'm going to add a drop shadow. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to click show. And I'm going to make that drop shadow a nice gray color. Okay. And now I'm going to close that up. Now the next problem with my title is it's not really in the right place. We don't want it over Principal Rao, we want it right under Shannon. So to move it, I have this little cross right here, and when I hover you see I get that move, so I should just be able to click right there, and then I can drag that title wherever I want it. So I'm going to put that right there. So now if we watch, all right, so I want that to be just a little bit longer, and I want it to start just a little bit later. Okay.
Well, the part where you start throwing is going on?
All right, and now I want one to go under Principal Rao. So what I could do is I could add this one again right on top of him and make all the edits to it that I did to this title. But you know what? That would take me a lot of time. What would be much faster for me is to copy this one. So if I right click, and I'm just going to go up here to edit, copy. I'm going to come down here, and wherever this toggle is, when I do paste, it'll go right there. So now I'm going to go up to edit, paste, and it made that clip all over again. So now all I have to do is go in and change Shannon Reed so that it says Principal Rao. Okay, and now my next step is to move it. So I'm going to find this little cross right here, move that right over so it's under Principal Rao, and let's watch and see if it works.
This is so stupid. I didn't do anything wrong. that was also done.
I still didn't do anything.
Okay, so that is how you add a title on top of your video.